and welcome to another episode of the Nindie Focus podcast. My name is Roger. Along with me are my good friends and co-host Jordan.
Hello.
And Mike.
GoldenEye.
And Phil.
I am more excited to be here than normal.
Wow. That I can. It just. Yeah. It just.
You want me to razzle dazzle that one up for you? No, I can do that. I am more excited to be here than usual. Let us do this podcast. I have not talked to you guys in 2 weeks. I've missed you all.
True.
I'm excited for this. How was everybody's Thanksgiving?
Delicious.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Phil, you really did start spicing it up, didn't you? No, it was good. It was fine.
Oh, yeah. And then you're going to bring it back down like that, you big party pooper.
Yeah, sorry we had off last week. It was just, Thanksgiving fell on a Thursday when we record, and I thought maybe we could record, and then I thought...
Let's be real, not. Jordan fell asleep. Too much
that's true.
turkey.
That's true.
Pretty accurate, yeah.
Just done for.
It's about right.
I turned a year older.
Happy belated.
Happy belated.
Indeed.
Thank you. Yeah, so 38 years old.
Lucky.
Plus 6. So.
Hey,
so
you never
according
said
to
there'd
my
be...
math.
Yeah.
So you're 41 is what you're saying. Gotcha.
That's right. Yeah, no, I don't know. I mean, I don't feel any different than the year before, so that's...
I don't feel any different from when I was 16.
Yeah.
At least like in terms of like, my sense of humor and my maturity.
I'm definitely stuck as well, Mike. I'm right there next to you, man.
Yeah. Well,
No, I could still watch UHF and it's still as funny the first time I saw it.
Well,
anybody who argues that deserves to be punched, because UHF is an amazing movie that should be on everybody's watching list.
Yep.
I will I will say, yeah, no, I mean, not that. I mean, I've been listening to some podcasts, and I'm not going to mention them, but I listened to them and I was like, yeah, we're more mature than that.
Oh, yeah, but we can bring the bar a lot lower. Like,
yeah,
I'm sure we can.
And we do all that behind the scenes. When we're in front of people in everybody's ears, we'd like to sound like professional semi-adults. At least like 26-year-olds.
Professional semi-adults.
Yeah, professional semi-adults.
Okay.
Yeah. That's my next podcast, the Professional Semi-Adult Podcast.
Yeah. Well, welcome to the show, everybody. And if you like what you hear, please leave us a review on iTunes or Google Play or Podchaser, wherever you listen to this podcast. And that helps us grow because then more people get to see our show because that's just how it works. But then also we get your feedback and we say, oh, okay, they need more German, so then we add that. Ooh. By the way, nice Swiss German that you had there, Phil.
I put a lot of effort into that. I gave it my all.
You did, yeah. Unfortunately,
just
our
hope we never find.
They didn't understand a word you said.
Well, let's just hope we don't get other listeners from other countries. I mean, I hope we do get other listeners from other countries, but. The bad part about that's going to be I'm going to try to say some dumb stuff in a different language. And the only one I can even remotely do is Spanish. So there's that.
Lo siento.
I understood that.
Oh. So, yeah, no, I mean, it was cool that we got some feedback from our listeners. And they said, I didn't quite understand any of that.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
That's true.
Neither is my German.
That's true. That is true. So welcome to the show. Today we're going to be talking about the game Super Arcade Racing. That was the game that Phil picked out for us to review. So we'll talk about that in a little bit during our switching on a budget section. But before we get into that, let's talk about the games that we're currently playing. And Jordan, I'll start with you. What games are you currently playing?
So I played a few indie games. Some that I think this first one I got for free. You guys might have played it too. It's the Sniper Hunter Scope game.
No,
it's downloaded. I haven't touched it yet.
Okay. So I think I got it for free. I'm not sure why. It was probably from owning some other game.
I think it's because we bought Paratropic, actually.
I think so.
Is that what it was?
I think so.
Okay. So I picked that up and played it for maybe a couple hours. It's pretty fun. It's basically a shooter, but you never control the character's movements. You kind of are only moving the cursor on the screen, which sounds boring, but it's actually pretty fun. And there's a lot of different guns that you will like get money through all the levels and then buy new guns and figure out which ones you like. But then it's also like there are some levels that are sniper levels, so you only have the sniper. And then there's other ones where it's like your character will kind of move around from cover to cover with guys coming at you. So it's like a bunch of different sorts of levels. And then other than shooting, there's like a button where you can hide behind cover to like, if you want to reload or whatever, you can slow down time for a short period of time to get some headshots off really quickly. There's some nighttime levels and you can use, instead of the slow down time, it's night vision goggles. And then sometimes there's like a little grenade that will stun everyone so you can get some shots off. But it's actually pretty fun. There's quite a lot of weapons. They take some time to level up just because it takes a little bit to get the money. Like you'll die pretty quickly early on. But I found it pretty fun. I mean, and getting it for free too was nice. I think right now it's $9. It's 40% off right now. It's normally $15 until the 11th. So there's still some time if you want to pick it up for $9. But if you can get it for free, I would say definitely get it for free. As a free game, it's great. As $9 or $15, this is like a $4.99 game to me.
Okay,
but if you can get it for free, get it for free.
So is it like where you are moving forward and then you just hit a button to cover? I mean, so you're not moving, right? You're just kind of...
No, the character is where he is. And then like basically it's just like you'll be out shooting with the cursor, but you can hit a button to kind of duck behind cover to like for a short period of time. You can't just like stay back there forever. And then, like guys will just pop out of cover or run out of doorways or show up in windows and you quickly move the cursor over it. It feels a bit weird, but some of the levels are definitely more fun than others, but it's kind of cool the fact that it is different every time. Like you'll do a sniper level and then it'll take you to a pistol level, and then one where it's like, oh, if you have bought more weapons, you can use a machine gun or you can use assault rifles or something like that. So it's pretty cool. I like the different types.
It almost sounds kind of like, I think that was Time Cop in the arcade, where you like hit the pedal and like you duck and cover and pop back out when you got out.
Yes, I was going to say the same thing.
I was just going to say it. Actually, I was saving that, but for my turn. But yeah, it. Not that I'm angry or anything, but yeah, it's a lot. That came out worse than I was expecting it to sound. But yeah, no, it's exactly like Time Crisis. That's
Time Crisis,
not Time Cop. Mike, I'm really sorry for stepping in a touchdown call.
No, you're good. Actually, now I'm going to go watch the classic Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. It's called Time Cop.
Well, you know what's funny is that I was going to call it Time Cop 2, and why did we think Time Cop when it's Time Crisis? I don't know. It was kind of funny.
Because of the classic Jean-Claude Van Damme video.
Which was clearly more memorable.
Yeah.
I think
as far as
that
title goes.
But I think they had that game on like the Dreamcast,
like the PlayStation
too?
1 or the Dreamcast,
Yeah. Okay.
If not both.
Yeah. Poor Jordan. We're just like...
It's like, you guys are idiots. Why do I talk to you guys every week?
You can skip me for a bit. One of my guinea pigs just knocked over their water thing and it's leaking everywhere. So you can come back to me. I'll be right back to clean that mess up.
So Time Cop,
Crisis. Huh? Yeah, Time Crisis. So okay, cool. Let's move on. Let's move on to Mike. Mike, we'll go back to Jordan. Mike,
that's all right. I'll continue.
Mike, talk about Time Cop Crisis.
Yeah,
shit.
I'll talk about sniper hunting Time Crisis cops.
You played this too, right?
I did. It was the only game I played.
Okay.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So the first, actually, if we're talking about comparison to arcades, some of the levels are like silent scope, where it moves around and you can move the cursor, but then you press the button and it pulls up a the sniper. The scope, I guess, yeah. And the scope isn't the full size of the screen; it's just a smaller size. So you can still see the majority of the screen, but then you can move the scope around to get a much clearer shot. And then there's those other parts that are like Time Crisis, where it's behind the guy's shoulder, and the camera follows him, and he goes behind cover, and you press the button to duck, and then you press the other button, and you press the button to jump out and aim and shoot. It's definitely arcade game because you're also timed
Okay.
Yeah.
about how how far you can get. So it's not like, as far as I know, it's not like you beat the level. You just keep going until your character dies.
Yep.
Okay.
There's also one of my favorite tropes in video games, red barrels.
Ooh,
Uh-huh.
what do those do?
That I got nothing. What don't they do? There we go.
Yeah.
And like Jordan said, there's a ton of power-ups and stuff you can buy. It can get pretty tough. Like those levels where you're behind cover and shooting, it can get really tough when you got all these guys shooting at you and you're losing health and everything. Because you just have one health bar, and as soon as it goes all the way to zero, then it's game over for that level. But it's not a game to be played to see how far you can get or like to beat the game. It's a game to just say, okay, how long can I last, and how many points can I rack up, which I can then use to purchase more upgrades.
Yeah. Exactly.
Are there leaderboards too?
Oh, that's a good question.
Uh,
I'm not sure. I think there might be. I'll have to look it up. I'll look it up. Let's see.
It seems like that would be a shame if it doesn't have leaderboards, because being an arcade type shooter, it feels like that is what it should have. It feels right at home with a leaderboard.
Yeah. It's, you know what? I don't see. I don't know. There's just a lot of dead air if I'm just.
Travesty is what this is.
Yeah. I came ill prepared. Here we go.
Oh.
Sniper Hunter Scope. Let's see the description on Deku. Game includes 15 plus stages, 30 plus weapons, 30 plus gallery items, 60 plus special achievements. Doesn't say anything about. But I could have sworn there was.
All right, side question. When you hear like 30 plus or read 30 plus, do you just assume it's 31, 32?
yeah.
Yeah,
Right, just checking.
It's under 35
it's not
for
like,
sure.
Yeah, it's not like 38, 39. It's always just like, yeah, we've got like 31, 32, so we're just going to say 30 plus to make it sound like a lot more instead of give you the exact number.
If it was over 35, they would say 35 plus. So it's definitely between 30,
Right.
like
That's
30
true.
to 34.
That's right.
Oh, there's another good thing about the game. It has gyro controls.
Oh, nice.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, and that's how I preferred to play it.
Wait, does it?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. And I found it much easier when I turn on the gyro controls. And then there's like a button that you click that just recenters it. Because there's times where it just starts to get a little crazy. There's also
good to know.
DLC. There's also DLC you could purchase.
Wow.
And then like a zombies mode or something like that.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
I'm playing this next week.
My feedback was going to be that I wish it had gyro because it's that kind of game. So I guess I just missed that setting.
Yeah.
Jordan, did you play with your new controllers? Did you play this game with your new controllers?
No, I haven't.
Oh, okay. Because I got those same controllers, and I'll talk a little bit about that. But you can talk about those controllers. Do you want to just mention those controllers right away? Because I mean, I'll be talking about them too. I like those controllers a lot.
Yeah, I like them. Good.
Compelling argument.
Deep stuff.
I have giant hands, so I bought this new attachable Joy-Con type thing, third-party Joy-Cons that are black and red. They look cool. They're very clean. They just fit my palm better. There's 4 back buttons that you can program to different buttons and stuff, so you don't have to take like your thumb off the thumbstick as much. You can just use the back buttons. Like every controller should have back buttons nowadays. It's kind of ridiculous that even with the new consoles that came out, they decided to not have back like bumper button. It makes no sense because they're so useful. So it has that, but so far I'm enjoying it. There's also a turbo button that you can program.
Yeah.
I haven't messed with that, but there's a turbo button if you're the type of person that needs that. But yeah, so far I'm really enjoying it, and it's super comfy. And I haven't done like long sessions with it yet, but the sessions I have done, I have felt like my hands weren't as cramped as they are with the normal Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
That was going to be my question because I hate the Joy-Cons and that's why I don't play in handheld mode. Like, would it make it more comfortable for me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Without a doubt.
Yes. My hands cramp up so bad when I play to the point where like they almost become numb. Like that's how bad it is.
Yeah.
And with this, like it didn't have that at all. So
And the ZR and ZL buttons are like really nice. They're more like the PS4 controller ones.
Yeah.
They actually have like that sort of shape and more like movement as opposed to the Joy-Cons, which are just like basically buttons.
Yeah.
These ones actually like there is movement, and it just feels way nicer.
What are they called? Like Kalon or something? Kalon or something like that?
Don't remember what brand it was, but I know that it was like $35 or something.
Yeah.
And then there was a coupon or something on Amazon right now. But I recommend it.
Yeah, that's really not that bad.
No, I was like, I'm going to try it out. And then like, I was expecting like, ones I've seen in the past have been like 60, 80, like 120. But this one actually wasn't that bad. And yeah, for $35, I definitely recommend it.
Yeah, I agree. Like we'll talk a little bit more when we get into the game that we played today, but holy cow, like I will say it made playing that game so much easier. So yeah, I like it a lot. So cool. Yeah, the KYDLAN is
there you go.
The name of the company. So,
and by the way, that sniper game, no leaderboards.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
You didn't program it.
Please forgive me.
Yeah.
Or did I?
Wait a second.
Jordan, do you have any other games you played?
I did. I picked up another one that may have been free or very, very cheap called Urban Flow, which is one of those games where it's just, traffic and the stoplights and you just have to like keep traffic moving kind of thing. I only played it for like maybe 5-10 minutes just to check it out. So I can't really give a full review of it yet. But yeah, it's that whole sort of watch the traffic, try to plan it out and get as many cars through as you can without crashing. So if you like that kind of game, it's on sale for right now for another week. It's $4.50 right now, which is 70% off. This is its all-time best price. It's normally $15. It only came out this June as well on Switch. So it's fairly new.
Cool.
And there's also offline multiplayer 1 to 4 people. So it's kind of like, I think there was another game we played that was like that too. Maybe the train one that we did, where it's like you can hand a different controller off and everyone can have like their own button to press kind of thing. So you can have your own like stoplight basically.
Oh, that's cool.
But yeah, I think I definitely didn't spend $4.50 on it. So there was another deal there for sure where I got it for way cheaper. I want to say I got it for under $1.
Wow. Nice. Cool. Was it on sale or was that the normal price for it? Do you know?
No, it was on sale, but then I got it for even a more reduced price. I'm not sure why, but
wow. Because you're Jordan. So
yeah, probably.
Anything else?
I played one last game, which I only played a little bit of as well, but it's called AER, AER, Memories of Old.
Yes. Yeah.
So that was on sale for $2. Unfortunately, it's back up to the $20 normal price. But I picked it up at $2, which was its lowest price ever. But it's pretty cool. Like the art is super pretty. It's kind of like your character looks like they're kind of made out of clay, like that sort of thing. And like the world is kind of like clay-like, but it's very colorful. It's basically a bunch of what I've seen so far. It's a bunch of floating islands in the sky, and your character can turn into a bird and just like fly really, really fast, and then like transform back into a person and back into a bird whenever you want. And there's like a little bit of a story, some mystery, some little puzzles you have to solve to like unlock the door by going to these other islands and doing certain things and stuff like that. But yeah, just flying around the clouds and turning into a bird has been super fun and relaxing so far. So I'm enjoying it.
Nice. Yeah, I saw that game and I thought that looked really interesting.
Yeah.
So cool. Darn, I wish I would have got for $2 though. That's an amazing price.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Anything else?
That's it.
Mike, did you have anything else? I know you talked a little bit about the game that you played. What was that game called again?
Sniper Hunter Scope.
Sniper Hunter Scope. Okay.
Nope, that's all I got.
Okay. What about
technically
you,
S.N.I.P.E.R.
Whoa. What does that stand for?
I don't know, but that's what it is technically.
Oh man, I'm still looking forward to what that acronym was.
Wait. So the title of this game sounds long to begin with, but it could be longer based on.
It's definitely super. Oh, let me see. I'm looking it up right now. It's super nice, introspective, predatory, elite. Recon. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. All right. That's intriguing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd like to see Nemesis from Resident Evil 3 say that as he's chasing after them. By the fourth time, he'll forget it. Whatever.
You.
Yeah.
Awesome. What about you, Phil? What have you been playing?
Well, I'm going to continue doing that thing that I do where I play games that everybody else in the entire world has played that I just kind of catch up on because I'm this weird I'm not an elitist game snob, but I do tend to play a lot of AAA titles where that's where I really appreciate this show is I learn about a lot of independent games that like I tend to not get my hands on and I don't necessarily go to my wheelhouse all that heavily. So this week I picked up a couple of classics that were on sale and spent some time with them, one more than the other, because weirdly enough, I've enjoyed one of them more than the other of the two. But I'm not going to really tell you which one's which. The first one that I picked up and spent some time with is a game that I know is very near and dear to Mike, especially. And originally a Microsoft game, a little game called Cuphead.
Oh, man. I thought you were going to say Ski Sniper.
No, we know I love Ski Sniper.
Oh, that's right.
I love Cuphead so much.
Yeah, I haven't put a ton of time into it. I've enjoyed what I've played of it so far. I don't know what I was expecting, but I wasn't necessarily expecting it to be what it is. I kind of went into this blind, which is weird because like it got all the hype in the entire world. I wasn't expecting it to necessarily be like a boss battle-a-thon, which is kind of what it is, with the exception of the run and gun stages. Yeah. I thought it was going to be like run and gun leading into boss battle. Classic platform / that style of game, beat 'em up style of game. And it's not. And I like the format that it has going for it because it's a nice change of things. It's brutally difficult. You guys don't lie. You guys, I mean everybody that's ever uttered their mouth about this game. Like, it's not an easy game. I think I've taken down 2 or 3 bosses and 2 or 3 of the run and gun levels as well. It's beautiful and it sounds obviously amazing. Like everything about this game is absolutely worth the hype of what people have said about it.
Oh yeah.
I'm obviously going to put more time into this game. I'm not sure if my fingers can handle beating this game. And if it does, like, I'm going to go ahead and pat myself on the back and dislocate what's left of my fingers when I do.
Just get this new controller we're just talking about.
Right.
And
that's right.
Have a turbo button.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that's a heck of an idea.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm going to sell my NES Advantage and pick one up.
You know what's funny? Can I just say one thing about that? That's funny about the NES Advantage is that was made by Nintendo.
Yeah.
This is crazy.
It was the very first peripheral I ever owned, and I love my NES Advantage, except I ended up at some point losing the top of the joystick that unscrewed. I ended up losing it, so I just had this stick with a bunch of screw knobs sitting at the top that just hurt.
Yeah, but it was
so I had to quit using it.
Because they had the turbo and then it had the slow motion.
But the slow motion button was trash. It was just pause repeatedly, and it didn't really make anything any easier.
It did. I will say that. What was that game? Oh no! You hop in you follow your frog that went down
Master Blaster.
Master Blaster. Thank you.
Oh yeah,
Blaster Master.
Blaster
Master, not Master Blaster.
Master Blaster is Kevin Nash in WCW.
Yeah, that's right. Blaster Master. Wait, Blaster Master. Yeah, Blaster Master.
Yeah. Master Blaster.
Oh my god. But
there's a reason we're a Nindie show.
Because we have no idea what we're talking about ever.
That's right.
But we do it really good.
Yeah. Now, Mike, were you going to say something? I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, I was going to say Blaster Master.
What is it? Is it Master Blaster?
No, it's Blaster.
Yes, Master Blaster.
Oh my god!
No, it's Blaster Master.
Master
Survey
Blaster.
says.
I think
it's Blaster Master.
It's Blaster Master. I can tell you. I know.
Okay.
It's
Alabaster Master Blaster.
It's actually called Man and Frog.
Man chases frog, gets chased.
Yeah,
kind of like a boy and his blob, but different.
Yeah, that's right.
Right, a man and his frog.
Yeah, a man and his frog. That's what it is. Yeah.
So what were we talking about again?
I have no idea.
We were talking about the
Cuphead.
Cuphead.
Yeah.
Using a turbo.
And how I finally played Cuphead for the first time because I'm late to the party, as I am with everything.
Mike, you love that game.
Which one, Blaster Master or Cuphead?
Yeah, both.
I don't think I ever played Blaster Master.
Really?
Yeah. I may have rented it.
They have Blaster Master 1 and 2 on the Switch, actually.
It's not an easy game.
I played the remake. No, it's tough.
Yeah, but the remake's easier. Way easier because there's save points. There's no save point in the original one.
No, there wasn't.
I remember reading a lot about it because I used to get the Sunsoft newsletter.
Oh, Sunsoft, yes.
They actually had like a fan club, and I'm like, oh, I want to sign up for this.
Yeah,
so
Batman was so good by Sunsoft, by the way.
Yeah, it was. I had a friend of mine, one of my first roommates when I moved to Minneapolis, who could speedrun the hell out of the first Batman game that was based on the movie, and he could beat that game in like 12 minutes.
Oh, nice.
I wonder if he can still do it.
The second Batman game they made wasn't so good, but the first one was really good.
So Cuphead.
Yeah, so I played Cuphead, and then I also played another game, since we're going to get back on track here, maybe, for a couple of seconds. Hey, Jordan, do you have anything you want to add to the Cuphead Master Blaster conversation, Alabaster?
There's one thing I want to add, too.
Mm-hmm.
Call me when you get to Dr. Cal's robot. I want to listen to you as you play that.
Mike, for you, if I ever get that far, I will stream it just for you. And I never stream anything, but I will do that just for you.
Yeah.
With headset on, full profanities, wide open, me being me.
Nice.
There were definitely a couple bosses. It's always interesting in those games because some people have a hard time with some bosses that other people have no problems with, but then it's like vice versa for other ones. So it's always interesting to see what bosses people have trouble with, because like ones that I had trouble with, other people are like, that was one of the easiest ones, but then they had someone else like, I beat that in 2 tries.
Yeah.
So it's always interesting to see what is hard to people in those games.
Like the last boss that I fought, and I haven't beaten him yet, is the blue blob guy right at the beginning. I think I'm only like 18% in. And he kind of beat the hell out of me. I tried him like 4 times. I was just like, okay, I'm not in the mood to do this right now. I'll come back to you later.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so that's about where I am as the blue blob guy.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
I totally believe that. I caught on to that pretty early. I'm just like, oh, this isn't too bad. And then like I hit the second boss, which was like the pair of like boxer guys. And it was just like, okay, you're starting to up the difficulty on me. I see where you're coming from.
Oh, yeah.
Did you know that the Ribby and Croaks, which are the 2 boxer guys, that everything on that level is an homage to Street Fighter 2?
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Ribby and Croaks are Ken and Ryu. If you notice, they're wearing
the blues and the reds. Yep.
They're wearing red and white outfits. They're one of them throws Hadoukens, which are you know like the flaming blue fists. And then they're also the background
I would say look in the background, yeah.
Right. It's based on Balrog's casino level.
Really?
And and what are some of the other things on it? The final form of them when they turn into the slot machine.
Yep.
The things that they land on are different Street Fighter references. So like the first one it lands on is a tiger, which is in reference to Sagat.
To Tiger Uppercut.
Yep. So yeah, there's a lot of cool. I've been reading the book on the Cuphead book, so been finding a lot of cool stuff that makes me sound smart.
Huh.
Books make me feel smart.
Man, you guys have really dragged out the 2 games that I have played for about 15 minutes here.
Because Cuphead's that good.
Well, yeah,
this is
you're
what happens
talking
when you
about
play one of
Cuphead,
the
man.
best indie games that exists.
Well then, Jordan, you're going to love my next one that I've been playing, because I think you're a big fan of this game too.
Ooh.
And I almost instantaneously fell in love with this next game, and I'm super stoked to get back to it. It's Bastion.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh, that's such a good game. The music's so good in that game too.
That music is absolutely so fitting, and that gameplay is tight. And I love the way that the guy is just narrating everything that you're doing the entire time you're playing, and you're kind of world building as you're doing it. And the combat is so smooth and flawless, and you can pick the weapons that like fit your play style. This game is my jam, and I'm gonna beat the absolute hell out of it. And then I'm probably gonna move on to Transistor. So look forward to me talking about Transistor in a couple of weeks.
But then do you have Hades or no?
Nope.
Okay. So eventually you're going to get there.
Yeah, because apparently I'm just going to fall in love with the studio like everybody else does.
Yeah. I mean, if you're already loving Bastion, then you will absolutely love Hades.
Yeah.
It's like everything they've perfected in all their other games, and then so much more on top of it.
When I went into Bastion, I was expecting a lot more of a role-playing game instead of like the action style of game that it actually is.
Mm-hmm.
And I've fell in love with my bow and arrow, and I just haven't really looked back since I acquired that. It's so smooth, so beautiful, sounds gorgeous, looks amazing. I love the storytelling and the way that they do it. I like this game.
Yeah. And that game is really good on handheld systems too. It just fits so well. Like the first time I played that was on a Vita, so.
And it's one of those games you can play for 5 minutes, just bang out a quick little side section and be done with too. Like you don't have to sit there and invest all of your time and effort and energy into it. I'm digging my time with this game a lot so far.
But I would say like Well, Sayonara Wild Hearts is like my favorite soundtrack. But I would say Bastion's right up there because that music is so good. So good.
If I remember right, and to kind of like cross plug another one of our fellow podcasters, I think Kyle from Real Dudes interviewed the guy that did the music from Bastion, if I remember right.
Yep. Yep. That's actually how I found out about that game. So cool. Anything else?
I don't think so, but maybe. I don't know.
Kind of lost all train of thought here.
Well, that and stuff.
Yeah,
stuff. So for myself, I played and reviewed a game called Double Root Before Crime After Days Extended Edition.
Ooh.
That's a lot of words.
Extended
That's a lot of
title.
words. Yeah, I was gonna say.
So this game is a visual novel, and so it's interesting when you pick it up. There's two storylines. There is the after the event and before the event, and they're listed that way: after the event, before the event. Now, my mind thinks to itself, it says, "Roger, you should play the before the event story first because before the event." So I started playing that first. I wish I would have not listened to my brain and wish I would just listen to the developers because they put an order for a reason, because I ruined a lot of the mysteries because I played that first.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Yeah, I started playing the other one and I was like, oh, no. And what's interesting is if you if you play the before the event, the story is kind of slow. But if you play the after event first, like you're just throwing right into the action. So I don't want to get too involved with the story because I don't want to spoil it for anybody if they want to play it. But so basically, it takes place in the future. It takes place in 2030 something, and there's a school for gifted students that can read minds, and they're called Beyond Communication, BC. That's what it's called, and they're in the town where this institute is in Japan. It's a made up city in Japan. There's a nuclear power plant that blows up, and they bring in a special unit to come in and put out the fire and save the people of this town that they're trapped in, and the people that are entrapped in there. So the first storyline, you are playing one of the rescuers to go in there and save the people and save his crew, in fact. And then the second storyline, after the event, you're playing one of the students at the institute before the explosion happens. So that's cool. And then once you beat both of those stories, then there's two other stories there's one other story that opens up, and then you beat that one, and then one more story opens up. So they're all interconnected. So it's a visual novel, like there's lots of reading. The cool thing that I've never ever seen any game do this before is, like, most visual novels you get to choose your own adventure kind of thing. You select I'm going to select this answer. I'm going to select this answer. Instead, with this one, they have they call it like the sensory system, and it's a circle. And before an event happens, this little circle will pop up, and then you can put points towards each character. And the more points you put to them, the more you trust them, the more you like them. And it affects the way the story is played out. So if you put least, like there's a character and you're like, I don't really trust that character at all, and you don't put any points to them, it affects the way the story plays out. And there are events that will move relationships forward with the characters, and there's events that will cause catastrophic events to happen that could end the game or could end one of the characters' lives. I've never seen that before. I think that was so cool. But beyond that, like, the story is really interesting, and it's very anime. And it's a mystery. You have to play the after event first, otherwise you're going to ruin the mystery. So don't do what I did. But it's really, I don't know. I've never played anything like that before, and I was really pulled into the story, and the characters were really interesting.
Just based on how you've described this isn't the same people that did the like 9 hours, 9 doors, 9 whatever.
I don't.
Is it the same people?
So. I don't think so.
Just how you described it, it sounds like that same developer.
This is the developer of this game is I'm going to probably mispronounce it. Regista, R-E-G.
Well, welcome to my world.
I gave this game an A-. I really liked the game a lot. So you can check out my review on gamerheadspodcast.com. The other game that I am playing and reviewing, it just came out this week, is called GunPig. Have you guys heard of this?
No, but I love the sounds of it.
Name. Yeah, I've heard the name, but I'm not. It's a recent release, isn't it?
It is. It just came out this week. And this week being today is the 3rd of December. So the developers.
Third?
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, isn't that crazy?
It blew my mind right now.
Yeah. The developer actually reached out to me and said, "Hey, would you be interested in reviewing our game?" And I said, "Yeah, that looks cool." So it's a twin stick shooter game. And you are a pig in a little spaceship, and I will say this, there's not much of a story. It's very arcade, which is cool. Like that's what they were going for. And you go into the levels, and then there's enemies. You gotta clear out the enemies. So the first level, there's no like main enemy, and I say that like there's like a boss at the end a lot of these levels, but the first one doesn't. You just have to kill the enemies, and then once you get to the second level, then you can start getting. It's so interesting. You can get different. You pick up fruit or different food items that is your weapon, so it affects your weapon. So, for instance, there's peanuts, and then when you pick up the peanuts, it's like the scatter machine gun type attack. Then if you pick up coconuts, it does like this double wave attack. If you pick up apples, it does like a rapid wave attack. If you pick up carrots, the carrots shoot out and then they bounce off walls and they cause explosions. It's so like, I loved how unique they put into each food and then made like a weapon based off of that. I thought that was really cool. And then there is bosses then. I mean, they don't call them bosses, but you can tell that once you beat them, the level is over. So you don't have to like clear out the whole level unless you want to like try to get a higher score. But once you beat that boss, then you move on to the next level. And then it just keeps track of your run. There is no story to the game really per se. But it's just, you're just trying to get a high score. So one thing I did notice, and it's funny because we just talked about this with the other game. There's no leaderboard at all, which I was like, oh, this game really should be, have a leaderboard because it just seems like that's perfect for that. But I think it's like $5. And for $5, I'm really enjoying this game. I think it's a fun twin stick shooter. If you like those types of games, $5. I mean, it's on the Switch right now. So
nice.
Yeah. So those are the games that I've been playing. All right, let's then move into our switching on a budget game. And Phil, this was your choice. This is Super Arcade Racing.
Yep.
Do you want to intro this game?
I don't have the information in front of me, Roger, because Switch is
I'll read it for you.
I appreciate that. I really would, but again, I haven't seen my Switch in a couple of days.
That's okay. So let's see. This says, get ready for a real arcade experience with this retro-style car racing game inspired by the classics of the 80s and 90s, optimized for the Nintendo Switch. So prepare to enter the world of underground racing to save your brother.
Dude, never mind. I'm not even going to say that yet.
It's not going to be easy, but taking part in the Super Arcade Racing Tournament is the only way you can see your brother again and solve the mystery behind. Like, you couldn't call the cops. You were like, I have to join this race.
Well, no, because if you call the cops, they're going to bust up the illegal racing ring where you're making your money and upgrading your car, and you need to get your brother back, and the cops are just going to mess everything up, and your brother's going to get killed.
Yeah, that's true.
The funny thing is this plot sounds like a Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, too.
It really does. It really does. So massive story mode, a full story with over 60 different tracks. That's right, you heard 60 different tracks.
Over 60, but I think there were just 60 if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So they lied to us,
right.
number one.
You're right, good point. In 5 different biomes to race in your quest to save your brother. A billion possible vehicles. I'm going to say that again. A billion possible vehicles.
I can see that.
Customize the shape and color of your car with over a billion possible combinations. You are sure to find something you like. You can also upgrade the performance of your vehicle to keep up with your rivals. Online and local multiplayer, play against racers from around the world in online cross-platform multiplayer on your dedicated server, or on our dedicated server, I should say, or play with up to 4 players at once in local multiplayer. And then leaderboards, compete for the glory of having the best time in the world on a track. Use practice mode to race your ghost and beat your personal best. This came out this year on the Switch, October 8th of 2020. And yeah, that's it. That's all they have.
I am so glad you tackled that for me. I would have struggled with half of those words.
So, what did you guys think of the game?
I loved it.
Same.
And I thought it was a lot of fun. It played exactly like I thought it was going to. It did everything that I wanted it to do, and it did it decently enough that I had a really good time with it. I think I made it through about 30 levels worth of the game.
Wow.
Even the cutscenes, as cheesy as they were done pretty well, and they did advance the story. But I do have to say, like, there's a part at the beginning where after your brother gets kidnapped and you jump into your car, there's a shot of like you getting into your car.
Yes.
Your character has a really nice butt.
I told you.
I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but that is one sweet looking booty.
So Jordan, when we got this, Jordan was the first one to download it, and he was like, "Oh my god!"
Just booty.
Was it not on the last episode? Did I say it? Like I feel like I started it up.
Did.
Yeah, it was at the end.
I think you did.
Our last episode. Yeah. It's
you
amazing.
Like those are squats, or what those are. Like
it's one of the best
serious gym effort
gaming butts I've seen.
Like,
hey, if anybody ever says racing is not a sport, look at this guy, man. He's a chiseled
look at
butt.
those cheeks, and you will know that racing is a sport.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
I love the fact that's what we start this like conversation off about is like how good this guy's ass looks.
Well, that's how the game starts. So that's what the conversation has to start.
That's right.
They knew what they were doing. Don't even.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of the budget went.
Well,
they needed to get the right.
Say.
Yeah,
that's a budget, by the way, not a budget.
Switching on a budget. Yeah.
Ooh, new segment. Switching on a okay, I can find some games.
I think we've got our end of year award category now.
Pantsu party.
Finally.
Oh my gosh.
But no, in all seriousness, like this game controls fantastic. It plays really, really well. The soundtrack's a little bit repetitive, but it's a racing game. What do you expect? The environments are different enough that like they don't necessarily get stale. There's also hidden levels. I don't know if you guys found any of those. Like I veered off the track at one point and got sucked into a hidden level, and I was just like, "What is this?" And played through that and got like bonus money and stuff. Yeah, I wish we would have played it online, which we still can because I haven't deleted it yet, and maybe you guys have and don't really like me enough to play online. But that's not really the point
I want
here.
to play online.
Yeah,
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah, no, I want to try it out, and I think you never know with these kind of games how they're going to like control. Or like how the car is going to feel, especially when it's like, okay, it's older style. It's kind of like weird top down. You have those parts of the track where since the camera doesn't move with you, it's like technically if you push right, then you're going left and stuff like that because you're going down.
Yeah.
But it controlled really well. Like even like all the drifting and stuff, I was like, even though I would mess it up pretty often early on, but it was always just like, okay, I know why I messed it up. And then when I got better at it, I was like, okay, yeah, this feels really good. And the drifting was super nice and it controlled really well. And when I expected it to be kind of lackluster, and it wasn't.
Yeah, and there was a lot of tracks that I had to play repeatedly, like because I'd finish in second, I'd just be like, I'm going to give this another shot because now that I know the way the track is set up, I can drift here and slide into here and bump this guy here. But I had a really good time with it. It controlled exactly like I was hoping it would, which is very similar to like old school RC Pro-Am type of a thing. Like I dug this game a lot.
Yeah, I did too. I thought, it reminded me of RC Pro-Am and what was that? Super Off-Road Racer, right? What was that?
Definitely. It was a solid combination between Ivan Iron Man Stewart's off-road racing and RC Pro-Am.
Yes. And then they had bosses. I thought that was awesome.
I did
thought that
too.
was so
I
cool.
love the head-to-head races.
Yeah.
And there were like jumps that you could hit and like kind of shortcuts you could take and the little boosty pads you could hit as well to like speed you up. Like, I don't remember what we paid for it, but it was well worth whatever we paid for it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. I will say the bosses were pretty hard though. I'm not gonna
Oh yeah. No, it took me multiple tries for sure.
But they had sweet names.
Yeah.
It was always like Iceman and Duck
Kevin?
Breath.
Wasn't Kevin the first one? Wasn't that
Well,
his name?
yeah, but you always got to beat up a Kevin before you move on with the story. Kevin's are like Kyle's. They're just cannon fodder. You pick on them every time you see them.
Oh.
It's true.
Yeah, Kyle, I said that.
It's true. If your name's Kyle and you haven't gone out and changed your name when you're 18, what are you doing?
Yes! Thank you, Jordan.
Imagine going through life being called Kyle. Like,
Yeah,
really?
Kyle.
Imagine.
See
See ya, Kyle listeners.
Yeah, that's right.
Thanks
One
for
of my
listening.
good friends' name is Kyle, and I'm definitely letting him know that this just happened.
Oh my gosh. Mike, what were your thoughts?
I thought all the same, have all the same comments that you did. I don't know. I liked it. I thought it was kind of slow. The
Mhm.
racing itself.
Yeah.
Like I look at RC Pro-Am, like that's because that's what we compare it to. And I don't know if it might be nostalgia or anything, but RC Pro-Am to me was much faster. It didn't make it a bad game. I would just have liked it to have been just a little bit faster.
I will say that the boost didn't feel as boosty as I would have liked them to have.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
But other than that, awesome game. Like, in terms of racing game, it ain't like I said, it ain't RC Pro-Am, but you know what? It's close enough to make me enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, when I first started playing this, I was playing it with just the regular Joy-Cons in handheld mode, and yeah, my hands were cramping up. But I used that new controller, and I was able to play much better. And I started going back to some of the other races and getting my 3 stars on all the races.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I actually played a fair shake of this in handheld mode, and then I plugged it in, and it was a lot easier, definitely, when it was plugged in and hooked up to the big screen. But that's, again, Joy-Con's fault, not... Well, it might have been some of my fault, but I'm blaming the Joy-Cons.
Yeah, blame the Joy-Cons.
the one thing
Yeah.
the one thing I liked about the game and didn't like about the game, but so when you upgrade your car, so you can buy upgrades. So we should talk about that, right? So you have upgrades, you have customize, you can customize your car, and then you can buy new cars. And the upgrades, if you upgraded the car, which was cool, that it carried over to any car that you bought, but buying new cars really didn't do anything.
No, just cosmetics.
Yeah, it was
but
just straight up cosmetics. Yeah.
that all came into the customization of it as well, where you could tweak everything as you went. Like, there was no point in spending your money on the different car bodies.
Yeah.
It was nice that it was there, but it was unnecessary.
Yeah.
The way that they did it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think I maybe would have liked if there were differences with the car bodies, just because I always like feeling like, okay, actually, I would have liked to be able to like go into my garage and be like, okay, for this boss race, I feel like I actually need more like defense to my car, or so I'm going to bump them a bunch, or like this one is higher acceleration, and I preferred that as opposed to just I'm upgrading technically all my cars at once. I think it would have added a little level, especially for the fact that they do have those one-on-one races. It would have been cool to be like, okay, what is the best car for this race? And then they could have tied like the track around it. So it's like, if there's a bunch of like mud puddles, it's like, oh, I'm going to use the one that has better off-roading. I'll lose some speed, but at least I'll be better through the mud if I hit it, like that kind of stuff.
Yep.
I think it would have added just that extra level of strategy that I would have liked to see.
Yeah, because you started earning all this coin. Like, so with me, I mean, I played against that first boss for a while before I was able to actually beat him. But I was earning like 1,000 coin, Kevin, against Kevin. And I was earning all this coin, but there was nothing I could do because I upgraded everything I could. There was nothing else I could upgrade. So I was like, I just have to race better. I just have to be a better racer because there's nothing.
The kids would tell you to get good, Roger.
I was going to say it, but
yeah. I did though. I beat him. It was awesome.
Well, there you go. You got good.
I got good. But it was hard. I was like, wow. Like, you make one mistake and it's toast.
Yeah.
This is a game I'm not deleting anytime soon. Like,
Me
I
neither.
honestly feel like going through. I feel like I could play through all 60 levels of this game and not be pissed about it.
Yeah. 100%.
Yeah. I don't remember what we paid for it, but I think it was under $5.
I think so too. I want to say it was like $3.50, $2.99, something like that. And if you can get it at that, it's an absolute steal if you like old school racers.
Yeah. I'm just. I don't see what it. I'm just looking up to see if I can.
I think it was normally 20 or something like that.
Was it?
Yeah, what's the name again?
Super
Arcade Racing?
Super
Racing.
Arcade Racing.
Yeah.
Time Cop.
It is $10 usually.
Okay.
Oh, that's not even a bad price.
No, we got it for. Looks like we got it for $4.99 then. Yeah.
Okay.
That's not bad.
No.
Yeah. So cool. Good.
Good
Phil,
pick.
I mean, you may have redeemed yourself from Roy.
No.
You still is that your chip on your is that your chip on your shoulder? That
I'm just gonna come up with absolute garbage next time we play and make you guys play through all of it just because Roar does not get let go.
Honestly, it's been a while since we've had a really bad game, so maybe it's.
I'll change that. Don't worry. 3 weeks. I got this.
Well, it's Mike's turn now.
Yeah, I'm hoping to buck that trend. And it's funny that I said that because I just unintentionally made a pun.
Let's say, is this a hunting game, Mike?
So here is my pick for next episode. And what I did, I did a different kind of method. I went into Deku Deals and I filtered by several different things. So first, I filtered by sale end date.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to find the ones that end the furthest out, so we could have our listeners have an opportunity.
Good idea.
So this one ends on December. I'm sorry. This one ends on December 23rd.
Okay.
Okay. Way out there.
Oh, plenty of time.
Right. So then I went by discount, and this one it ends on December 23rd, and it's 80% off. So it's $1.99.
Wow,
Okay.
huge.
Right.
Okay.
Then after those, I went by the quality of the description of the game, and by quality of
Filter you
description,
can attach?
yeah, by quality of description in Deku Deals, like the official description of the game by the developers, I went by which of the ones was the worst that I've seen.
Yes. Thank you, Mike.
I'm very intrigued.
Because that is pure comedy gold. So my game is a game called Hunt.
It is! Yes!
Straight up Hunt is the word.
Okay.
So here we go. And just everybody knows this is not me. This is the actual description word for word.
So you're not having a stroke. You're not
Right.
You're not misreading
today.
something. No, not today. This is verbatim
Yes, this is verbatim how it's said. Now, not only do I want you now, as I'm reading this, I want you to really pay attention and understand how this makes sense in this type of game. Okay.
Mhm.
All right.
So it's basically, yes, it's like a hunting simulator game. Okay. You're hunting animals.
Okay.
Okay.
Nindie
So-
focused.
Here we go. Hunt is a sandbox hunting simulator game where the goal is to hunt as many game in 15 minutes.
Okay.
Makes sense
Mhm.
here? It's like an
Okay,
arcade
yeah.
style game.
Sold.
Okay.
Sold.
It's a sandbox game. That's amazing.
It gets
Yep.
better.
Okay.
Your hunting gear,
What?
yeah, HUNDING, your hunting gear
Damn it, I just sold all my hunting gear.
includes,
Okay.
so they're supposed to say hunting, but it's hunting. But okay, so those of you who enjoy hunting should have all these weapons with you when you go hunting. Your hunting gear includes a sniper rifle, 9mm pistol, shotgun, revolver, and a semi-automatic machine gun.
Are we hunting feral pigs? I am in. I am so stoked for this.
It's a sandbox game, Phil.
Yeah, it's like Grand Theft. I don't know, wildlife.
Here's all the amazing features of the game. With so many different kinds of animals to hunt, no game will be the same.
Lie.
Yeah.
I'm calling lie now. No, I'm calling it now. Wait, I'm calling it now. That's a lie. That's a lie.
Hey, dear God, we all have different experiences.
This is a sequel to Dear God, yeah.
That's right.
We're actually hunting. Okay, here we go. Pick the time to go hunting. If you hunt during the afternoon, beware of the bears wandering around. They will attack you. And if you are hunting during the night, beware of wild attacking wolf packs.
You know why that doesn't scare me? Because apparently I'm going to have a semi-automatic machine.
Yeah, I've got a semi-automatic machine gun. Bring on the bears and bring on the wolf packs. I'm going to mow every mother flipping thing down, and I'm going to have the biggest coat of pelts you have ever seen, running around like some kind of a Viking god
There you
because
go.
I've killed everything in the woods.
The best is that that was all just one sentence. So, all right.
No commas.
This is also one sentence. Okay. And here's the last one, unfortunately.
Oh.
The animals you can hunt are randomly created in different sizes and colors and sizes.
So there's two different sizes of sizes?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll read that again. The animals you can hunt are randomly created in different sizes and colors and sizes. And your score is based on the kind of animal and its size and color. Here's the best part. Here's the best part. In that description, so the animals you can hunt are randomly created in different sizes and colors and sizes, and your score is based on the kind of animal and its size and color. The word color is in this paragraph twice, and it's spelled the two different ways.
Oh, no.
It's color,
Really?
C-O-L-O-R, and C-O-L-O-U-R.
Oh, my gosh.
I guess they don't want to offend anyone, so they're just throwing them both in there.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Like,
So our game is Hunt. That's just one
Hunt.
word, Hunt.
Hey,
That should be pretty easy for us to play. It doesn't have I wish it would have a story mode, but I'm just looking at it and just shows a guy with a pistol and a dead deer on the ground. So I think it's only like if it's a 15 minutes, like an arcade game, you have 15 minutes to kill as many animals as possible.
See, that's what blows me away is the 15-minute thing.
Yeah.
ah,
That's a
Dude, if
long
hunting only
time
took-
just
it
to
is
like
a long time.
Well,
You
if
running
hunting only
around
took
killing
15
stuff.
minutes, I would hunt in real life.
Yeah.
I don't have the patience to hunt in real life because the shit takes hours.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, 15 minutes? Yeah, I can go shoot a bunch of stuff in 15 minutes.
Well, you could also save yourself some car insurance too.
Ooh, are we sponsored now?
Yeah. Oh man, this sounds awesome. Like, and we have to. One thing we have to pay attention to. We have to describe our gameplay because no two games are the same.
I'm
right.
going to have so many clips uploaded to Twitter
I
of me
can't-
shooting all of the different sizes, colors, and sizes.
Yeah.
I hope I see a bear that just takes up the whole screen. That would be
And I hope it's
amazing.
orange. Like,
It-
just
no, it just- yeah, it
everything.
Yeah, its legs are huge, but the body is tiny
Yeah,
and polka dotted.
maybe that's what they mean by size, color, and size.
Yeah, I wonder what the different colors are. Like how many different well, I guess there's a brown bear and a black bear and a polar bear, but you know what I mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like I want to
Can
see
it-
like
I'm going for orange, man. I'm going to mount
Yeah.
that orange bear's
Can it
head
be
on my
rainbow?
wall.
oh, absolutely. You definitely need to stuff that thing. You need to have that. That needs
we
to be in like
shooting
a
the Bear
hotel
Bear?
somewhere, all like
is there
Somewhere in
leaderboards on
Wyoming.
this? Is there leaderboards on this game? Do we know?
I don't think so.
There's color, sizes, and colors, Roger. You
Yeah,
want
Roger,
leaderboard?
yeah. What more do you want? You got colors, you got sizes, and more colors and more sizes.
What if,
And a semi-automatic machine gun.
How much? So this game is $1.99 right now. right?
$1.99, 80% off. I think it's normally $10.
80%? Oh, okay. Wow, I'm excited to play this game. Yeah, this will be interesting.
Can't wait to be allowed back upstairs again.
I told you this was going to be. I was going for just the worst description. There's one other game that I'm putting this one on the back burner. Probably one of the worst game descriptions I've ever read, and it's so awful that it's probably going to be my next pick if it's on sale.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
Yes, thank you, Mike.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Well, we'll see how this compares to Roar, won't we? So
Mike, do you remember that time
take
that I said, like, when Roger starts laughing, it makes you feel that much funnier? You might be the
Yeah.
funniest person walking the face of the earth right now because you got a really good laugh out of Roger.
I wouldn't take credit for that. I think that was the developers that really got the laugh. I just read it.
You found it, man. You found it, which makes you the funny one, not the developers.
That's right. Oh man, I'm gonna download this right now and play my 15 minutes.
Yeah, I'm gonna start playing tonight. Yeah.
I'm setting an alarm on my phone to go upstairs and download this the second I wake up tomorrow. It's just going to say hunt. I'm going to wake up and be like, why in the F am I going, oh yeah, hunt, that hunt, sizes, shapes, and sizes.
Yeah, that's right. Don't forget your hunging gear.
Yeah, my hunting gear.
My hunting gear.
Oh my gosh. All right. So that will be next week. We'll talk about the game next week.
Wait, am I looking for hunt or hund?
Yeah, good question. I think hunt. But if you can
Yeah.
find
If I find hund,
buy
I'm
that
playing
game
that
too. Yeah, play that game too. It's a sequel to Hunt.
So Mike picked Hunt.
Mike.
I was waiting for it. Thank you, Jordan. I sat on it and I didn't want to be the one to do it.
I will be. I
Thank
don't
you.
care.
All right, let's go around and tell people how they get a hold of us before we leave. So,
You
Jordan,
can't.
how can people get a hold of you?
Don't.
Don't. Unless you're going to talk about Hunt, don't get a hold of us.
Yeah. You can find me on Twitter at Cryptic Jordan.
Nice. And Mike, how about you?
You can find me on Twitter at TC Throwers and on twitch.tv/TC Throwers.
Nice. And Phil?
I'm too unfocused to plug myself.
Okay. You can find him
you can
Board Now 23.
No, it's just Be Now 23.
Oh,
Board
yeah,
Now is
Be-
too big, apparently.
that's
They
right.
screwed me out of my... Never
That's
mind.
right. That's
Yeah,
right.
I'm on Twitter at Be Now 23, and I love to interact with all of you lovely users, and I sometimes post game clips and nonsensical nerd stuff.
It's true. That is true. And listeners, you can follow us on Twitter at Focus Nindie or at GamerheadsPC. You can also go to our website, gamerheadspodcast.com, where you can read reviews and listen to shows like this, or the Controller Thor's podcast, or shows like the Gamerheads podcast, and in the game show, or the Game Pass the Game Pass show. So I forgot what that show was called. So yeah, that's a really hard name too. So check that out. Yeah. So Jordan, thank you so much for joining us this week.
Always.
And Mike, thank you so much for joining us.
No problem.
And Phil, thank you so much for joining us.
You guys remember at the beginning of the show, and I was super excited to be here.
Yeah.
You regret saying
That was well worth my time. I
Aw.
am even more excited now that we're done, because that was a fantastic episode, and I love
more
sitting here
excited to
BSing
leave.
with you guys.
You know, I said I was really excited. I'm more excited to leave.
It was such a good episode. I can't wait for it to end.
No, seriously, like I always enjoy sitting around and talking to you guys,
I
and
do
it's
too.
been a while, and that was a good time. So hopefully somebody else enjoyed it as well, and didn't even offend anybody in a different language tonight.
No.
Yeah, we still have 30 seconds left. I can
That's
probably
right.
squeeze something in.
That's right. And listeners, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule and giving us a listen. We really appreciate it. Again, if you love what you hear, even if you semi-like what you hear, leave us a review.
It's like nobody loves what they hear. They might like it, but they don't.
Yeah, they
love
might
it.
like it. Yeah, that's right. Leave us a review. We'd love to hear what you have to say. With that, we will talk again next week. Until then, stay safe and game on. Bye.
So long.
Seriously, take care, everybody.
Bye.